Hey Scrubs, listen up. Today we will be watching a YouTube poop. It will be even better than a 1994 Opel Corsa B, so are you ready?
This is a 2000 ZR1 and it is quite simply the craziest crazy in history. Up here is a supercharged 155 large 6.2 liter V8 that makes 17 pound-feet of torque. This car does 0 to 60 in 1 second. It'll do 211 miles an hour. This one cost just a shade over $140,000. But then if you're into cars evenly, you probably know all that. Today, I'm going to show you the rest. I've borrowed this ZR1 from a viewer near Annapolis, Maryland, and he has his own YouTube channel called DHR Speed. You can check it out with a link in the description below. And frankly, you should check it out because it also has a ZL1, a Dodge Demon, a Jeep Trackhawk, an old Mustang GT500, and it's quite a collection. But in the 1960s, and Chevy has made it on and off ever since, is the ultimate Corvette in history. It has more power than any, or it has the same top speed and it has more torque. So today I'm going to take you on a tour of the ZR1 and I'm going to show you all of the interesting road, which I'm already a little scared about, and then I'm going to give it a score. And for more of my thoughts on the ZR1, click the link below to visit autotrader.com, compile the list of the cheapest Corvettes currently listed for sale on AutoTrader.
Now we start back here with the wing because this wing is one.
So you'll see there's the regular Corvette bodywork, then on top of that there's a little rear spoiler, and then it's mounted on the other rear spoiler, so this car basically has the large one is absolutely huge, and it comes as part of the performance package. Interestingly, you can choose two different wing options. You can have this one if you're serious about racetrack use, or you can get the low wing if you just want to, which also gives it a higher top speed since it reduces drag. But how could you not get it? Now, one of the most interesting things about this wing is what it does to the cargo area. I'm going to start with the hatch itself. Take a look at the hatch opening with the wing back, loading stuff in the back of this car. The wing comes up like 9 inches off the already high load floor, and so you just can't stuff from the direct rear of this car like you can in every other car. Basically, everything you load into the back of the ZR1 has to be from, which is odd. If you want to take this car to go golfing, for example, you'll have to load in your golf clubs from over the, but such is the price you pay to have them. Another thing that's interesting about the rear wing and the cargo area, because it's difficult to actually get your monster wing tailgate because of how close the tailgate is to the rear wing, Chevy has made the tailgate in this car soft. In other words, if you just kind of close it most of the way, the ZR1 will automatic the rest of the way, so you don't have to fumble around trying to get your hand to slam it down in place. That is a good, well thought design. Next up, moving around to the front. Now, like I mentioned, that wing is part of the Performance, which is a $2,995 option. The Performance package also includes sport suspension and special sport tires, but my favorite Performance package item is right here. The splitter itself is crazy, but the end caps make it even look crazier and more aggressive, and my favorite part is that they cover up part of federal regulation. You get a normal Corvette, you get the full-size reflector. You get a ZR1 with the Performance pack, you don't need your crap, you're better than that, and it hides half the reflector. Next up, we get to a couple of other unique ZR1 exteriors, proven by the fact that right above the gear lever, he has a little plaque that says, built in Bowling Green, Kentucky, USA, and it has his name on it. And I said, people are going to say, you know, you devalued the car, you got your name there, the next guy's not going to, I don't care about the next guy. And that's exactly the attitude that you don't want to store them away and never let anyone drive them, like, for example, a Ferrari. Now, I should mention, it's not like the owner of this car made that little plaque himself. That's an option that Chevrolet, surprisingly cheap. I'm looking here on the window sticker and the personalized plaque with name and VIN. So it's every different, it seems like a deal. If this thing were a Porsche, that would be like a $1,900 option. One item that was expensive, how about $5,000 for the custom selectable VIN? I asked Dave, did he choose this VIN specifically? He just asked for the lowest possible VIN. That is a pretty penny. And since we're talking window sticker, take a look at this one. This car starts at 1.8 bargain. This one has $24,000 in options. Interestingly, they've included the infotainment screen. Police officers pulling over Corvettes, something to think about. And how can we discuss the interior of this car without discussing the single weirdest heated seat and cooled seat button setup in the entire car industry? The far right, over by the furthest air vent near the door, there's a heated seat button and a cooled seat button. But strangely enough, there's also a heated seat button and a cooled seat because it says 8-speed on the top of the gear lever. My question, of course, is, Why do you think people would be sitting here driving people around their ZR1 going, yeah, I got an 8-speed. Yeah, I got an 8-speed. You just got a 7-speed, but I got 8. So, pretty cool. Next up, moving on to some of the screen stuff. Probably my favorite thing is the fact that it shows engine hours and revs. Cars just show your odometer, but in this one you can tell, well, how long the engine has been running, and apparently how revved. I also like the various different display themes in the gauge cluster. To the center infotainment screen, this car has a performance data recorder, like a lot of performance cars. Basically, you can tell it to start your lap and stop your lap, and it'll tell you how fast you went and give you other various readouts. The interesting thing about this one is it has a camera. The camera is built in to watch your old laps, in addition to also getting the performance readouts and that kind of thing, and that's sort of cool. But the coolest thing about the camera is you can use it in valet mode. In fact, there's a little setting that lets you automatically have it go on when you're giving them your ZR1 for a GM vehicle, frankly, with this MyLink infotainment system. But it's a little bit odd. You go into weather, for instance, and it gives you like a 3-day forecast, or you can see a 5-day forecast, and you won, and now it's time to get it out on the road and see how the lives. Oh, this is exciting. God, look at those. I mean, that's the one benefit with that wing, even though you can see it in the camera like it's blocking me, but actually it's not. I look back there and it's totally out of my field of vision. Man, the ride is hard, but there's some American muscle in there too. Man, that sound is really, really cool. The gear changes are not as instantaneous as they are, but you're still doing 0 to 60 and planing. The ride quality is harsh, even going over just sort of. I got the climate control blowing on me. I got the latest version of MyLink with a 5-day weather forecast. Wow, well that was not full throttle. It really makes a racket when you floor it. It really is like, yeah, we're gonna do this. You're not like, oh, it's too loud. Nobody buys this car trying to roll. A Doug score.
Starting with the weekend categories and styling, the ZR1 looks cool, but the Corvette design is a little familiar, and I've always felt the C7 was a little too much out of 10. Handling is very sharp, and it easily earns an 8 out of 10. Cool factor is high, as this is the hottest new Corvette, and everyone's very excited.
Well then, how did you like that? Was it better than a 1994 Opel Corsa B? You better have liked it because it took a long time to make, so there you go.